Imagine this. You walk into a coffee shop. Its wooden floors creak beneath your feet. The faint clink of porcelain cups fills the air, and the rich, comforting scent of freshly brewed coffee swirls around you, wrapping you in warmth. The world outside disappears as you settle into a familiar corner, your favorite chair, where the soft murmur of conversations feels like the sound of home. You take a sip, and for a brief moment, everything feels right in the world. Now, imagine walking into that same shop years later, only to find it gone. The walls where familiar smiles once stood are now bare, replaced by cold, impersonal storefronts. The rich aroma of coffee no longer greets you. Instead, a hollow silence fills the space. The memories you thought would last forever, the laughs, the faces, the shared stories, are now nothing more than whispers in the wind. The coffee shop isn't just a place, it was an era, a chapter in time that is slowly fading from memory. And yet, that jingle, that coffee's distinctive aroma, still lingers in the back of your mind. It's the story of a place, a brand, and an experience that once promised more than just a cup of coffee, but now, all that's left is the taste of nostalgia. It all started in a small neighborhood, tucked away from the bustling city center. A single coffee shop opened its doors one chilly autumn morning, its owner a dreamer with a vision, to bring warmth and joy to the community, one cup at a time. The shop wasn't flashy, there were no grand designs or cutting-edge technology. It was simple. Wooden tables, mismatched chairs, a soft glow from vintage lamps that seemed to hum with the promise of something special. For the first few months, it was just another coffee shop. Quiet, humble. But the secret ingredient wasn't just the coffee, it was the atmosphere, the laughter, the stories shared over mugs that never seemed to empty. It wasn't the sleek coffee machines or the fancy latte art that drew people in. It was the feeling of belonging, of being part of something bigger. The barista at the counter wasn't just making coffee, they were creating memories. It was here you came to forget the world, to lose yourself in the warmth of a cup and the kindness of strangers. The first sip wasn't just a jolt of caffeine. It was the start of something that felt like home. And so, the coffee shop grew in popularity. Word spread through the neighborhood like wildfire. It wasn't long before people were lining up outside, waiting for the chance to step inside and take part in the magic. The jingle was simple yet catchy, played softly through the speakers in the corner. Every cup tells a story. It was a phrase that would become synonymous with this place, a reminder that in every sip, a memory was being made. The coffee shop wasn't just a place to grab a drink, it was an experience. The walls were adorned with photos of patrons who had walked through the door and never quite left. Each picture told a story, of first dates, of job interviews, of laughter shared over spilled milkshakes and crumbs scattered across the table. People came not just for the coffee, but for the camaraderie. Regulars would gather in their favorite spots, exchanging stories of their days, their lives, their hopes, and their dreams. There was the elderly couple who'd come every Thursday for a quiet cup, the young artist who sketched for hours in the corner, the college student buried in textbooks with a coffee cup always within reach. They were all part of the same story, the story of the coffee shop. The menu may have been simple, but it was a masterpiece. The signature blend, known for its smooth finish and rich flavor, became the shop's trademark. It was a taste people craved, a flavor that transported them to a time when life felt simpler, when all that mattered was the conversation in front of you and the coffee in your hand. It wasn't just about caffeine, it was about connection. As the coffee shop's popularity grew, so did its reach. Other locations opened, each one capturing the essence of the original shop. There was no need for elaborate advertisements or viral marketing campaigns. The coffee shop was already a part of the community. Its name was spoken in reverence, its doors always open to those in need of a warm drink and a friendly smile. And yet, in the midst of this success, something began to change. As with all good things, the coffee shop's rise was inevitable. The corporate world, always on the lookout for the next big trend, took notice. What was once a cozy neighborhood gem was now an empire in the making. The small, independent shops were bought, rebranded, and turned into franchises. The coffee was still good, but the magic, the essence of what made it special, started to fade. The warmth that had once radiated from the walls was replaced by sleek, modern decor. The friendly baristas became employees, serving drinks with a robotic precision. The new shop designs were stripped of the charm that had made the original locations so inviting. The personalized touch, the connection between the staff and the customers, began to disappear. In its place was efficiency, convenience, and corporate speak. Customers still came, but they weren't the same. They weren't there for the experience anymore. They were there for the convenience. The coffee, once brewed with love and attention, was now mass-produced, standardized, and served with a smile that felt like a checklist item. It was still the same coffee, but the soul was missing. And so, the decline began. Slow, imperceptible, but undeniable. By the time the coffee shop's original charm had faded into oblivion, the jingle that once filled the airwaves had become a relic of the past. People no longer hummed the tune as they entered the store. It was now just a catchy slogan, a reminder of a time long gone. The loyal customers, who once swore by the shop, began to wander elsewhere. New, hipper coffee shops sprang up, offering artisanal blends and Instagram-worthy decor, capturing the attention of a younger generation that had no connection to the history of the coffee shop they were replacing. But the most painful part of the story wasn't just the loss of customers or the shift in business strategy. It was the loss of the memories. The coffee shop had been more than a business. It had been a part of people's lives. For those who had experienced it, the memories of first dates, job promotions, quiet mornings spent alone with a cup of coffee, and laughter shared with friends over endless refills were irreplaceable. As the shop's popularity waned, the doors closed one by one. The once bustling cafe was now a ghost of its former self, and with each shuttered door, a little piece of the community was lost. The jingle, once a symbol of warmth and belonging, now felt hollow and forgotten. But here's the thing, the coffee. The shop may have faded from our streets, but it hasn't disappeared from our hearts. It lives on in the stories we share, in the memories we hold dear, and in the cups of coffee we continue to drink, hoping to recreate that magic, even if just for a moment. So, I ask you, what memories do you have of the places that once felt like home? The ones that no longer exist, but whose essence still lingers in your mind. The coffee shops, the diners, the mom-and-pop stores that defined a simpler time. Share your story with us. Let's remind ourselves of the places that shaped our past and continue to influence the present. Because even though those places may be gone, the impact they had on us will never fade. As we look back on the story of the coffee shop, one thing becomes clear. It wasn't just the coffee that made it special. It was the community, the conversations, the moments shared over a steaming cup. It was the sense of belonging that made every visit feel like a homecoming. And, while the coffee shop may no longer be with us, its legacy lives on in the way we remember it. It lives on in the jingle we still hum under our breath, in the memories we carry with us, and in the cups of coffee we continue to drink, seeking that same feeling of warmth and connection. So here's to the coffee shop that once was, a place where every cup told a story. May we always remember the magic it brought into our lives. Relive your cherished memories. Watch our video now and take a journey down memory lane. Don't miss out. Like, comment, and subscribe to stay connected and be a part of this nostalgic experience.